Good afternoon, fellow Ambazonians. Good evening to you, our brave liberators and givers of freedom. During times like this moment, during period of uncertainty, wise people, smart people always look around for those that have acquired knowledge, have the experience, have the foresight. We turn to those with wisdom for guidance. In moments where people are confused, are uncertain, in moments where people are hopeless and fearful, we turn to reasonable voices, people with love, truth, honesty, and character in them to guide us. These are very uncertain times for the people of Cameroon, very uncertain times for the people of the eight regions of Cameroon. Very uncertain times. As all experts have predicted, there will be chaos in Cameroon. And if care is not taken and the situation is not handled properly, the millions of young men and women in Cameroon that are hopeless, that are frustrated, and that are fearful about their future will take matters into their own hands to change the circumstances. If the situation in Cameroon is not properly managed, those that have been in power for the last 43 years insist to maintain power, regardless of the consequences, then they should be prepared for the consequences. U.S. former United States Undersecretary for African Affairs, Ambassador Nagy Tibor, has taken the time to provide words of wisdom and guidance to the people of Cameroon. Cameroon is at a crossroad. Between the status quo and an unknown future. But the people of Cameroon can define that future. The best way to predict your destiny is to create it. The people of Cameroon can design a new destiny, decide a new destiny, and forge a new destiny. They have that choice. The old forces, the destructive forces, wants to maintain the status quo that benefits only the less than 1% of elites. Let us first of all listen to what the former Undersecretary of State for African Affairs, Ambassador Nagy Tibor, what he thinks, what he believes would happen with Cameroon. Watch and listen.
You look at it from the front, it looks like a democratic country with all the institutions, with elections. But then if you open the door and look behind it, you start shaking your head. For example, elections are not stolen on election day. Elections are stolen in the process leading up to the election and then in the process after the election. How do you register the voters? Who are the candidates? Are the parties allowed to go out and campaign and have their events? Does the government try to interfere by co-opting or coercing the opposition by arresting some of their members, by keeping popular people from running? How are the institutions which manage the elections? Are they truly independent, or are they filled with the president's cronies or the ruling party's cronies? Is it a single ballot that has the same, all the candidates on the single ballot, or is it multiple ballots and the opposition ballots mysteriously run out, whereas the government ballots are there, plenty, plenty, plenty. So, you ask yourself, you look at the Cameroonian situation and you say to yourself, is this serious? Again, my personal point of view, any international organization or other country that puts $1 into the elections is cheating their taxpayers of that dollar. Because anybody wants to bet with me, I'm available to bet, but I will bet you that the outcome of the election is going to be the 92-year-old candidate is going to be the winner, immaterial of.
That is a very bold prediction. That is a very bold prediction by the ambassador. So he's not saying this because he dislikes Mr. Biya or to create fear amongst the Cameroonese people. The questions he has asked are very basic and critical questions which the Cameroonese people have to start to ask themselves. He's telling you based on decades of experience as a diplomat. He's telling you this based on decades of experience as a receiver of intelligence and briefings. He's telling you this because he cares. That is caring. For someone like this, during such moments, takes his time to correlate all the data, synthesize all the intelligence that is coming in, a student of patterns, predictable patterns, takes his time to provide hope and guidance to the people of Cameroon. Biya has never lost an election. He owns the system. He created the system. He molded the system. It's a predictable system he has created in Cameroon. He has captured every segment, infiltrated, captured, and dominated every segment and facet of the Cameroonian society, from their cultural institutions to religious institutions. Bishops like Andrew Nkea are under the spell of phobia. Moderators of the Presbyterian Church are under the spell, bribery, and corruption of Mr. Biya because they all want to live a luxurious celebrity lifestyle. So Mr. Biya money is giving them a lot of resources to live like celebrities. And in primitive traditional society, this is what the people worship. So he goes around with multiple girlfriends in every community. All the bishops, all the moderators, they all have multiple girlfriends, multiple wives, multiple homes, all across the Ambazonia territory. It's a business. They have become puppets of the regime. You've seen it, what they've done to Ambazonian traditional royals. Mr. Biya has taken Ambazonian royals and turned them into slaves. Can you imagine? The Sultan of Bamum, will the Sultan of Bamun of the kingdom, do you think the Sultan of the Bamun people will parade himself, leave the western region, travel all the way to Yaoundé to parade himself along the Independence Boulevard with a placard? If Mr. Biya wants to see the Sultan, Mr. Biya will travel to the western region to meet with the Sultan. The Sultan does not go to the Unity Palace. That is power and that is authority. He's not a beggar. Someone who is powerful does not beg for power. Those who have real power do not beg for power. And Guafo begs for power because he doesn't have real power. The chiefs of Manu beg for power because they don't have real power. The colonial funds appointed by Mr. Bia and Atanganji that are all now under the complete control of Mr. Atanganji Paul in the colonial house of chiefs and the regional parliament. They are all beggars of power because they are powerless. Those who have power do not beg for power. They don't beg for power. Those who are seeking for recognition and legitimacy comes to them. They are supposed to go to the chiefs of Ambazonia and not the chiefs of Ambazonia going to Yaoundé for a photo shoot with a statue of Mr. Bia, whereas they can't even see Bia himself. They will meet Ungongo and then they will line them up. Little puppets, beggars of power, colonial slaves. They will line the colonial slaves up, take a statue of Mr. Bia, give them to hold it. And they're excited, happy to put their faces across or close or adjacent to a statue of a person they went to visit in the Unity Palace. Why do you go to the Unity Palace? The person who lives in the Unity Palace can receive you. But you left the southern regions of Ambazonia. You left the northern regions of Ambazonia. You left your palaces. Go somewhere else to go back for power. That is how useless the funds of chiefs, the funds and chiefs in Ambazonia have become. Little puppets. Then are now being used almost like a ping pong game by Ngongo. Let us listen to what another Ambazonian royal, what he makes of this movie episode. Let's listen to this drama and comedy. Let us listen.
Fellow Ambazonians, good morning. Today is the 14th of August 2025. Fellow Ambazonians, let me your ears. I am here to rebuke our traditional rulers who have misused our tradition for political purposes. Fellow Ambazonians, every tribe, every ethnic group has its own tradition, but we all have a universal sign that shows that a paramount chief is arriving at a particular place. If our paramount chiefs should dare now misuse all those traditional rights for political purposes, then it is a curse. It is a shame. It is a disgrace to whatever race, to whatever culture, to whatever tradition, or to whatever people such a person is represented. Fellow Ambazonians, In our African tradition, we know that if a paramount chief is about to arrive at a particular place, the first sign that shows is the sound of the gong. If you hear the sound of the gong, you know that a paramount chief is arriving. Then, if the paramount chiefs should now decide to put the gong inside a bag and arrive at a place and take the gong out and play it by themselves, then what a shame, what a mockery, what a violation of our tradition. I was so amazed, dumbfounded, confused to see that a traditional ruler picks a traditional gong and plays it to somebody who is not even a traditional ruler. However, remember that what you plant is what you are going to sow. What you sow is what you are going to harvest.
Amen.
Our traditional rulers have become so selfish that they tend to ignore our tradition. Before going into that unity palace, was there even one in Chinda behind them who was to dress their seat for them to sit down?
Good question.
How then do you yourself turn to play a gong to somebody who is not even a traditional ruler?
Great observation.
However, those gongs are made from where I come from. They speak, they react, and they follow whatever way that you want to use them. When you use the wrong instrument in playing that gong, you have the wrong results. That's the more reason you couldn't even hear the sound of that gong. In Bangwa, where that thing was originated, where it came from, we say, Lichere, Egunwe. Maybe translating this to English, say that it muted. The sound didn't come out because it was used in a wrong occasion. I am therefore appealing to our paramount chiefs. What about the blood of our little martyr? What about the blood of Field Marshal the King? What about the blood of Isubu? What about those other children who have missing that we don't even know them? What about our villages which have been burned to ashes? Were you not the very ones that gave this government the land? Did this government not only arrive 1961 and 60? Before the government arrives here, were you not there? How do you now become beggars? Remember, what you are planting is what you are going to harvest tomorrow. When did our paramount chiefs, when did your father ever go to Yaoundé? If he went to Yaoundé, how did he come back? In the days of Foncha and Muna, that we had our own selves, which of our parents ever went to Yaoundé? Did Ahijo not visit the font of Nso in his palace? Did Ahijo not stop to listen when the font of Fontaine was coming in at Chang, when the University of Chang was being opened? What happened today that the palace now goes to Yaoundé? Does the palace move?
Good question.
The palace doesn't move. And if you've decided that the palace would move, it would all take a turn on all the children of our land, the children of our children, and it would be a curse to our society. Please, make haste when the sun shines. Correct all the mistakes that you people are doing. This is not fair. No land has been cleansed in the northwest and the southwest with the blood of our people that have spilled on the same streets that you all travel. it will come back to haunt us. May God save us. Ndiasa Efontem from Bibiala.
The political system that the people decide to create for themselves, the person you elect as the chief of your village, the fawn of your clan or your community, that political system, that leadership that you, the people, have decided to choose to be your political setup, that is what will determine your the prosperity of that village, the development of that village, whether the people live in harmony or they live fighting one another. The political setup of every country is what determines the economic outlook of that country. If it's what determines the human right outlook of that country, it's what determines whether those people will have modern services or they will live in archaic systems, whether they will have modern healthcare systems and free healthcare, whether they will have good roads, great schools, modern schools, whether they will have research centers, or in the 21st century, their children will be sitting on the bottom of a tree as a classroom, as is the case in Cameroon. Whether people have quality drinking water or not, whether you have consistent supply and reliable electricity or not. Every society, the development of every society is determined by the quality of the political system those people decide for themselves. So for you, the people of Cameroon, you have suffered for the last 43 years. It is not a curse from the gods. It's not punishment from distant planets. These are decisions you made for yourselves. These are political choices the people of Cameroon made for themselves. We reap what we sow. Decisions are architect of destiny. Every man and woman's future is shaped by their decisions. The decision to allow Mr. Biya to be in power is what has shaped what Cameroon is today. So after 43 years, maybe these are moments to take and reflect. How have you lived? Do you live in chains or you live in a free society? Do you have institutions that are there to protect, to develop, and to enhance the quality of life for the people of Cameroon? Or you have institutions that are there to choke and suffocate the population? Reflect on what Mr. Nagy Tibor has told you people. These are consequential moments. You have a choice as a people to make, and you have a decision as a people to make about what your future should be like. You want the status quo, or you want to put an end to this international mockery? You have a choice. Mr. Trump will not make that choice for you. Mr. Tibor will not make that choice for you. Keir Starmer will not make that choice for you. Emmanuel Macron will not make that choice for you. Ibrahim Traore will not make that choice for you. Mr. Merz of Germany will not make that choice for you. Mr. Carney of Canada will not make that choice for you. Albanese of Australia will not make that choice for you. Meloni of Italy will not make that choice for you. DJ Vance, JD Vance will not make that choice for you. Only you, the people of Cameroon, can make that choice for yourselves. And you can do it. Others across the world have done it. You can do it. You don't have to accept this nonsense called election that have already been determined. You know the outcome of the election. You are just helpless because you caught up in the circle of hopelessness. I mean, learn helplessness, because you've become so hopeless over the last 43 years, and hopelessness is the only thing you've known, and is the only thing you're expecting. That's called learn helplessness. That's according to the psychologist Martin Seligman. You can break out of this. We can be of help. You want political, strategic intervention? We can help you people. We, the Ambazonian people, can help the people of Cameroon to break through this political chokehold. We can help, but we can't do it for you. We can help, but we can't do it for you. Your destiny is not our destiny. You have to do the work, but we can help. We can provide the knowledge, the insight, the expertise, and the strategies. We can help, but we can't do it for you. You have to do it for yourselves. It's your future and it's your destiny. We can help. The Ambazonian people can help. Ambazonian experts can help. Ambazonian revolutionaries can help. Ambazonian intelligence officers can help. Ambazonian military trainers can help. Leadership of Ambazonia Defense Forces can help. But you have to do the work. We can help only when you ask for help. We can help. We can provide all of you with a model of how to engineer such a change, how to implement such a change. We can help. You don't have to accept this political nonsense. You don't have to accept a man whom you've not seen for more than 6 months. You don't know whether he's alive or he's somewhere in a hospital somewhere in France or Switzerland or maybe Germany. A man you don't know his whereabouts. But the cronies are every day telling you that you should re-elect him. You've never seen his face. You've never heard his voice. He's going to be your presidential candidate. And they're going to rig the election on his behalf. You won't see him anywhere, whether it's in the far north or in the north, whether it's Adamawa or around the eastern region. You won't see him in the center or in the littoral. You will not see him in the west region or um even which is that other region. I think it's a Boloa. You won't see him. They will proclaim him as the winner of the 2025 presidential election. They control the B, the presidential guards, the army, the gendarmerie, the police, and all apparatus of state security. They own it. They control it. So they are going to use it. They own a LECAM. They own the Constitutional Council. Yes. Whatever petition you take to the Constitutional Council, one word, irreceivable. One word, the Constitutional Council is incompetent to hear this case. What would you do? It ends there. You have disqualified your most popular candidate, Maurice Kamto. And that's it. What you gonna do? What are you going to do? You're just gonna fold your hands and say, that's it? We don't want any problem. We are very peaceful people. That's fucking bullshit. You're peaceful when you dine. Peaceful when you're living in severe poverty. Peaceful when you're homeless. Peaceful when you can't feed your children. Peaceful when you don't have a job. You're peaceful? I don't think so. I think you're boiling inside. You are all just fearful. You are all just fearful. That's what it is. It's okay to admit that we are fearful. It's okay to admit that we are fearful of the gendarmes. It's okay to admit that we are fearful of the bees. And that is the intention. Because you've been terrorized for so long. How can you be living in a country where you live in fear? It's not okay. We used to be fearful too. Until we have to confront our fears. Which is mostly the negative use of imagination. Ambazonians were fearful too. And then we had leaders that encouraged us, inspired us, and instilled in us a sense of purpose and courage. And why we must rise in order to break free from the chains that have kept our people in colonial chains and chains of occupation. Through their inspiration and their courage, we embodied courage. We embodied bravery. You need young men and young women that are willing and ready to stand up for the humanity of the people of Cameroon. You deserve something better. You know it. This is your time. For the Ambazonian people, the strategies we used to launch the armed resistance campaign, the strategies we used to start the liberation struggle are not the same strategies that we've used to fight. And the strategies we have used to fight and degrade and defeat the occupier right up until this moment will not be the same strategies we will use to get the job done. We need different strategies. Every stage of the liberation struggle requires different strategies. The technologies we've used, the methods we'll use needs to change. We're no longer fighting the same enemy. The enemy is adjusting and adapting. So too must we. There's a way we have to conduct and carry ourselves now as political contenders in the international system. There's a way we have to present ourselves. We've matured. We're now at the forefront of international diplomacy. There's a way we have to speak about Ambazonia. We are no longer beggars. We are owners of the land. We have something We have precious things. We have everything the international system needs. We have everything the international and modern economies needs. We have everything the Canadians are looking for. We have everything the United States is looking for. We have everything the Germans are looking for. We have everything the French are looking for. We have everything modern states need for their modern industries. We have everything. So the way we are doing diplomacy has radically changed. We are no longer doing the diplomacy of human rights, that we are victims and we need others to rescue us, or diplomacy of sympathy that has its place with NGOs. States think differently. So there is a new dynamic in the way we are conducting international diplomacy. As owners of Amazonia, as the people that owns the land. Remember what Dr. Cho told all of you. The future is yours. Where you put your investments in terms of contribution for the liberation struggle will determine your outcome. Amazonia has many movements. It's up to you where you put your investments. Where do you put your contributions and your donations? It's totally up to you. For the Amazonia Governing Council, we understand what the occupier has done over the last 7 years to make you not to believe and not to trust. But for some of you that have not been carried away by the blackmail, the smear campaign, and the sabotage of the occupier, you know what we have been able to do and to produce for our people. 2025, we have drastically altered the international system in the way we conduct diplomacy. I want to assure the Amazonian people, I want to assure our children, you are this close. You are this close. You are this close. The AGOFC has learned its lessons. In the past, we will provide briefings with the hope that they should energize and unite our people. But we realize that the more we speak about the progress we are making, the more movements and organizations that sit and do nothing, the more they get wired up the more they start sabotaging, the more they create messages of infighting and disunity and quarreling. Since the arrest of Dr. Cho, all of them have disappeared. Since the arrest of Dr. Cho, all of them have disappeared. Yerima has disappeared. The people of the town hall, from Magi Kilo to Ato, those that were creating flyers with my face on it, with the face of Dr. Cho and leaders of AGOFC, to put on the internet, calling us terrorists. They have all disappeared. Most of those flyers were not coming from my country people. They were coming from the town hall. They were coming from Magi Kilo, people like Ato. They were responsible in creating flyers to blackmail us on social media on behalf of Cameroon. All of them have disappeared. Dr. Akwanga has disappeared. Okay? Sako has disappeared. They have all disappeared. They are waiting for negotiations. Let the egg of sea comes out and announce negotiations. You will see all of them will resurrect. All will resurrect. You will see all sort of movements and names and presidents. All the Mark Barrettas that have dwindled out. You will see them start speaking. They will become activists again. Very interesting set of people. I'm not saying this to make a mockery of people. I just want all of you to become conscious. Don't go through life obliviously. Don't go through life being blindsided by basic realities. You have to be conscious in the process of living life. If not, you will be influenced, you'll be used without you even knowing what's going on. All right, tools of influence are very powerful. Right, I'm just saying this with a little bit of tongue and cheek. We are close. We are close. They know what's about to happen to Cameroon. They know it. The international system knows what's about to happen to Cameroon. There are talks on the table from multiple points of the globes. There are talks on the table. The Hague of Sea is at the forefront of it. And the Vice President of Ambazonian Governing Council will not make any comment. There is a lot of movement in the international system. The Hague of Sea will not make any comment in what we are doing or who is now behind us. We won't until at the right moment. We are close. We are very confident that within the next few months, maybe 2 months, maybe the next 90 days, you call me a prophet. I'm not a prophet, but you will call me a prophet. I'm not a prophet. I'm here to assure you we are close. I know the work that has been done. I know what is on the table. We know what is already on the table for Ambazonia. It's not what will be on the table. We know what is already on the table for Ambazonia. Canada is sending a delegation to Norway. This country is sending a delegation to Norway. These people are leaving Norway and going to La République. We know what is on the table for Ambazonia. The Hague of Sea is working. And I want to thank the lobby firm. We want to thank our partners in Washington, D.C. for the extraordinary, for the outstanding job they've done for the Ambazonian people. They've opened doors that would have taken 100 years to be unlocked. They've taken us to places to meet with people that would have taken us 100 years. We know what is now on the table for the Ambazonian people. And the powers that be in the international system. They know it. We're blessed people. What we have lacked in the past was leadership, was people that have the experience, the character, the zeal, the passion to get things done on behalf of the Ambazonian people. It's over for Cameroon. The results of the presidential election are predictable. It's over. Ambazonia, this is your moment. This is your time. This is you to blossom. This is your moment. This is your destiny. We know what's on the table for Ambazonia. Your time is here. Your time is now. What you've been fighting for is here. Just hold the line. Just hold the line. That's all we ask of you. Just hold the line. A little bit longer. Just hold the line. Hold the line. rally around the Ambazonia Governing Council. Stand with the egg of sea. At the appropriate time, at what's on the table will be announced. We will rally all nationalist movements together, and we will achieve it, and we will receive it as one people, unified under a common purpose for the price we have collectively paid. We will get the job done for Ambazonia. Just hold the line a little bit longer. Rally around the egg of sea. Support the lobbying effort. It is yielding the intended results for Ambazonia. It is yielding the intended results for Ambazonia. I can assure you that. We know what's on the table already. Your future has been decided. Your victory has been decided. Your freedom has been decided. We know what's on the table already. Hold the line. Trust your leadership. We are close. Thank you for your kind attention. On Saturday, in the next 3 days, the Ambazonia Governing Council will have the end of month fundraiser for the liberation, for lobbying, for legal purposes, to hold the line on the ground, and for humanitarian purposes. You have many options. If you don't want to get involved in self-defense, support lobbying effort. Support the legal front. Support humanitarian efforts. Your Independence Day is coming up. Come and support community schools. For community schools children to have uniforms and their white socks or sandals and everything they need to showcase Ambazonia. This is your moment. Take pride in how far you've come. Your victory is here. It's on the table. You just have to hold the line. We'll talk tomorrow.
So it tells you about the level of media freedom in Cameroon, that an executive gets up in the morning and signs an order saying the media should not report about a certain topic, a topic that is of interest to the people. The people have the right to know where the president is. The people have the right to know if the president is well or unwell.
The media may be banned from reporting on the president's health, but Cameroonians know that Bia's days are numbered, and there's no succession plan in place. So factions within the ruling party have begun to jostle for position to keep their access to state resources. There's a power struggle underway, one that is having dire consequences for journalists.
President, you look at it from the front, it looks like a democratic country with all the institutions, with elections. But then if you open the door and look behind it, you start shaking your head. You know, for example, elections are not stolen on election day. Elections are stolen in the process leading up to the election. and then in the process after the election. How do you register the voters? Who are the candidates? Are the parties allowed to go out and campaign and have their events? Does the government try to interfere by co-opting or coercing the opposition by arresting some of their members, by keeping popular people from running? How are the institutions which manage the elections? Are they truly independent, or are they filled with the president's cronies or the ruling party's cronies? Is it a single ballot that has the same, all the candidates on the single ballot, or is it multiple ballots and the opposition ballots mysteriously run out, whereas the government ballots are there, plenty. So, you ask yourself, you look at the Cameroonian situation and you say to yourself, is this serious? Again, my personal point of view, any international organization or other country that puts $1 into the elections is cheating their taxpayers of that dollar. Because, anybody wants to bet with me, I'm available to bet, but I will bet you that the outcome of the election is going to be the 92-year-old candidate is going to be the winner, immaterial of...
Amazonia will be offered to you tomorrow. Will you be ready? Will you be ready for governance? Do you have the institutions and expertise in terms of human capacity and state institutions to transform that space into one where our children can say, we fought a good fight? The reason why we are here is not simply because we want to create an alternative platform or pool our resources together. It's because we reject fraud. I don't know why you fight. I know all of us say we fight for independence, and I always remind you, independence is an abstract political construct. You fight for that abstract political construct, not as an objective. There are the micro issues within that political construct that you fight for. The right as a woman to have equal rights within your own country, to have opportunity in terms of education, to have a good health system that can take care of the weak and the sick, stop a woman dying every minute and giving birth. Those are the real issues we fight for. We fight for transparency. I invite every one of you to reject fraud. Reject it from the depth of your heart, and no matter what the opponent, the violent minority tells you.
Welcome to ACN.